Really good tempo. Really good tempo. Pull it up like that. That club's going to be coming in. 74 is not going to be your best score for too long if you're going to hit it like that.
Welcome back to another video. Today we're working on my irons. Last time, Cooper and I, we fixed my wedges, played a few rounds, been hitting a lot better, more greens, a lot more
Control. A lot more control.
It's been good. So my irons definitely need work. Fat shots, thin shots, lefts, rights. It's very inconsistent, which makes it tough to score. So
yeah, so we'll look at a few things today and we'll get it all centered in. Play with Garrett a couple times, and every once in a while, yeah, those fat ones and those thin ones. So today we're going to take that deeper look to find out what's really contributing to it. This is kind of the first time that I've taken a good look at your iron swing without just playing around and be like, yeah, I was a little quick, Garrett, or oh yeah, you kind of got stuck on your back foot. So we're going to take a bigger look and see what really is contributing to some inconsistencies with the irons. All right, you're done. Go home.
Simple.
Go home.
If golf was that easy.
Just hit them like that. What else do I have to tell you?
There'll be some bad ones. I wish I could do this on the golf course.
Yeah, no kidding. Is there like side hill or downhill, or are you struggling more on those?
When I am in thicker rough,
okay,
it just feels like I don't feel that I can get down.
Okay.
I feel like I am swooping
too
much,
in, and that club is getting caught in the grass behind.
Yeah, which makes it very difficult for me. I'm like, okay, yes, I am in thicker rough. I'm clubbing up.
Yeah.
I'm making sure I have the right loft.
Yep.
But I'm like, it's probably still not going to get there. This is easier because it's like picking it off.
Really good tempo. Really good tempo there. So you mentioned you want that feeling of connection and hitting it a little more crisply.
Yeah, like I would like, the fly right now is pretty high, which I feel gets knocked down. It's not a nice penetrating look. And when I have tried to make it feel like my hands are forward, it was getting that more piercing flight. Yeah,
and I mean, it's one of those things that, one of the best lessons I ever had when I was at school, I've always been a pretty strong wedge player.
Yeah.
I was struggling with the upper side of my bag, and my coach, Jack O'Keefe, who played on the PGA Tour, a great player, and he said, Coop, why don't you just swing those irons like you swing your wedges? I'm like, what do you mean? And he just broke it down to me. He's like, you're trying to hit that so hard. Same thing that we talked about in our last wedge video was maintaining connection. He's like, start doing that with your irons. And all of a sudden I was like, okay, I've probably lost about 10 yards, but I don't need the distance.
Yeah.
And yeah, my dispersion just started coming in like that. And that's kind of that swing thought that I see way too often as people get really, really wide in their base and they're bringing that club back really fast. You take it back nice and slow, but it's almost like you get to the top every once in a while. When you hit those chunky ones and thin ones, it's either hard and forward, and then you kind of get that chunky one, or you get stuck on this back leg and those bottom hands. So it's almost like, you know, the oldest one in the book, slow down. Well, don't try to feel like you got to crush that thing. That 7-iron is going to do all the work for you. It's not as if you need to do more. I just want you to feel like you're trying to hit that 150 yards.
Okay.
And just kind of seeing where that's not trying to hit it 180 or something like that. Because I think
I would say normally like my 7 is like it's like 175 club.
Yeah, and I think naturally the progression in golf is, you know, we all try to build speed and we build, and then we get to a point that we don't need to build it anymore, and our body's starting to move more naturally, and we don't need to try to force it with our arms or our body. As you get better, you'll enjoy hitting that 7-iron 165 like this instead of 175 like this.
Yeah.
And, you know, in the videos that I've played with you, you know, Coop, what club are you hitting? And I'm a club extra. It's like, yeah, because I'm just, you know, I'm hitting this thing like a wedge. Yeah. Just trying to flight it down a little bit. That's where you'll see that flight come down a bit as well.
I guess my mind goes to, though, it's like when I'm in the spots of like, let's say I'm like 220 out, 225, and like that would have been my driving iron, but if I'm not hitting it as far anymore, how would I adjust
and that's, you know, instead of a driving iron, we might get a hybrid in your bag. Yeah. Something that's designed to be hit out of that rough, give that a little bit more help, be a little bit more forgiving. You know, driving iron got very, very popular about 3 years ago, and everyone bought one. And we're starting to see in the industry that more hybrids are coming out because people are like,
this is harder.
It's truly just a driving iron. It's only meant to be used off of a tee. Yeah. Like, it's meant to be teed up just that little bit. It's not very practical.
I do find myself if I should put a hybrid in my bag and take it down. Because just when I've hit a hybrid before, I'm like, I hit much better shots. I hit my driving iron like usually pretty well.
Yeah.
But it's just like, oh, I do miss the feeling of hitting the hybrid and just like,
yeah,
it just comes off nicer. It's better in different scenarios.
yeah, and that's where
if I'm in the rough, hitting a driving iron out.
Yeah, with how you swing it and how you you're not an overly steep player, so you like to kind of it's going through that impact area for a long period of time. That hybrid's going to get through it way easier than a driving iron. That driving iron is just doing this throughout the entirety of the impact.
I have chunked a lot of driving irons.
Right? And that's, you know, they're designed for, they're called driving irons because they're meant to be off the tee. So that's something that we could do in your bag.
Yeah.
That could just really change a lot of things for you. So all of a sudden, what is your driving iron? A 3 or 4?
I think it's, well, I just know it's a 21 degree. My driver is very old, and that was Ryan's.
Yeah, and Ryan gave it to you probably cheap for a reason.
Yeah.
I just switched into a combo set with Titleist. They went to, in between the T100s and T200s, the T150. And I never thought I'd be a combo set guy. I went and got a fitting with them, and I was like, oh my gosh,
this helps a lot.
This is a big help. That, you know, if I catch this just a little bit off the toe with a 4-iron, I'm not losing much. Just looking at maybe something combo set one day. Tacoma set you up.
So what do you think I should work on here?
Yeah, so iron wise, what I'm gonna get you to do, and I want you to feel like you're covering the ball with your chest a little bit more.
Okay.
So when I was talking about you kind of getting forward, that chest moves there, and whenever there, those are your two, that's why you chunk it, that's why you hit it thin, is you either get sliding out ahead of it or stuck on your back foot.
Okay.
I want you to feel like the buttons on your shirt are covering that ball a little bit more.
So is it more like I'm covering it more?
Yeah. So I mean, we're still gonna have our rotation back.
Yeah.
So what was happening is, as you were coming through, sometimes it was this position.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was this position.
Gotcha.
So I just want you to be a little bit more conscious of, through our chest and our core, that we're making sure that it's not going laterally in any manner.
Okay.
A little bit more on target.
I feel like I didn't know what I was aiming for last time.
Oh yeah, all right. Well, when you're working on contact, sometimes people get a little too attached to target on the range.
Yeah.
Which, you know, you start your range session, it should be trying to build good habits within your swing, and then, okay, now I'm gonna try to dial it in. But people come up, haven't warmed up, they grab their 7-iron, they aim it at a flag out there, balls start going off their target line a little bit, and they're so consumed by target that it's like, you haven't even thought about where your body is, how you're feeling that day, you didn't warm up properly. Give us some time to get the body mechanics down, and then we'll start dialing it in.
Yeah, make connection first.
That's why when I hit balls, there's that big tower out there.
Yeah.
That I hit balls at that tower.
Yeah.
That it's more of start line for me. Like, I don't really worry about where it's finishing, and I'm not worried about dispersion as much. I'm just trying to make good contact up here.
Makes sense. I don't know if that was chunky or that was good.
It might have been a hair, but not. That's gonna be pretty good no matter where you hit them. That was really good there. Yeah, just maintain that feeling of not getting ahead or behind. You're gonna see that, you know, when we break down the video of your swing a little bit, that you're gonna be returning to that same spot at impact. It's like you take freeze frames of guys on tour. This is address and this is impact. All they've done is returned in with a little bit of hip turn. Like that's the only change. Whereas, difficult. You know, then we break down amateur swings and it's like starting, and then sometimes this is impact or this is impact, and it's gone.
I do, when I have slowed down my videos and looked at it, I can tell I sway a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Nothing like drastically, but it's like either going off my back foot.
I think you know, for me teaching people, I got to find out if they're more lower body conscious or upper body conscious.
Yeah.
After the wedge lesson, I found that you could feel it in your arms, you could feel it in your core more than you feel your lower body as much, and you move your lower body well. It's just that I think you're going to be able to have a better idea of keeping your shoulders from getting here or here than keeping your hips from there or there.
So it's basically like having a very quiet upper body.
Yeah.
Let the lower
body go, and you already have good timing with it. It's just that you just kind of shift off of center sometimes. Okay. That was awesome. That was really good.
Was it?
Yeah.
It felt like I caught the bottom groove or a second groove on that one, but the movement was good.
74 is not going to be your best score for too long if you're going to hit it like that.
It's my hope, you know.
Yeah. See, I know you worked hard to get rid of that fade.
Yeah.
So that one just dropped right. That's never going to slice. What I think was happening a lot for you is you were getting really inside, and that upper body's moving back, and you're on your heels, whereas just trying to keep your chest over it is just going to kind of keep you neutral throughout your feet.
Yeah.
So that's the other spot where trying to cover it with our chest is important, because when you get here, that all of a sudden brings your swing plane from way inside, and that's where every once in a while you'll see that big one.
Yeah.
That, you know, you got rid of that one big side, and now you're dealing with the other big side.
Yeah.
Now that you know how to do both, let's meet them in the middle.
I would prefer a more straighter.
Yeah. Well, really, thanks. Yeah.
No, if I can have a dead straight shot, sign me up.
Yeah.
We'll move up. I'll hit a couple more with the 7, and then we can go with like a 4 or 5.
Okay.
And see if I can emulate this. With my wrist and like bowing and all that stuff, because like in my mind, I'm like, oh, I should try to start bowing my wrists more. Is there a reason why I should or I shouldn't?
I'd like to see a little less wrist movement, like you get them kind of bowed a little bit early.
Okay.
You know,
because right now I don't even feel like I'm trying to bow my wrist.
Yeah.
Versus when I was trying to practice that.
You know, if you wanted to get that a little bit more distance out of this, turn that club back and feel like you're keeping that wrist really steady, and see how my club face is pointing down at the ground.
Yeah.
What a lot of people do is they bow that wrist early, boom. All I did was change wrist position, and I've added a ton of loft.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm trying to cook an iron, I really make sure that I'm covering it down.
But like, should I be thinking of cupping it, like bring this wrist back?
I'd like you to feel as quiet in your wrist as possible, because you move your lower body well enough that you don't need to use your hands to get ahead of it.
Okay. So that's what I was thinking too. I was like, do I try to bow my wrist to get my hands more in front or not?
No, once you start doing that, it's just adding variables. I mean, as simple as to put it is, I tell people all the time, all we're trying to do is draw as many straight lines in the golf swing. And if we draw straight lines, ball's gonna go straight. That's as simple as you can put it. As soon as you start bowing wrists or moving it inside or outside, you know, our chest moves a lot. Once those lines start to waver a little bit throughout the golf swing, our dispersion all of a sudden is going out this way. So if we were to bring this club out, this is where we want it.
Okay.
Every once in a while you get there.
Okay.
And then you're trying to keep them ahead, right?
Yeah.
Here, now all we have to do is rotate up. Look at where those hands are.
Yeah.
Right? We don't need to try and get any more ahead of it than that.
Okay, so if anything, just keep it more like that. Ooh. That felt better.
Yep.
I felt like I covered it a lot.
Yeah, that one was really, really good.
That was a miss it there.
Yep. Take a break.
Okay. Water.
It's just
water's key. All right, 4 iron in hand. We'll see if I can keep it the same.
Just maintain that feeling of staying over top of it. Just covering it with your chest.
That felt chunky.
Yep. So in the last few swings, what I've noticed is getting a little bit vertical on the takeaway.
Okay.
And that can really contribute to some thin and
vertical as in like
you're up here pretty quickly.
Okay.
And I'd like you to feel this left shoulder rotate behind you just a little bit more.
Okay.
So, you know, when we pull it up like that, that club's going to be coming in at a steeper incline, and that might be something that you feel on those rough shots.
Yeah.
Where you're in the rough that we want to kind of take away going through that impact area for a long time. But I just want you to feel like your left shoulder is turning back to the ball, and that right hip is turning through.
Yeah.
If you broke the swing down in the most simple way, that's 2 rotations. It's a shoulder turn back and a hip turn through. As long as we're not doing some funky stuff with the club behind us, which you don't.
Yeah. I do find my hands are pretty like level.
Yep. That was much better. Didn't quite catch it, but the rotation on the way back was much, much better.
Oh,
just a little quick. Tempo on the way back was very, very fast, and that's something I can tell to almost every amateur is generally you don't do it, but people will get really quick on the way back, especially with these long irons, because it's like, oh man, I'm really trying to hit this thing hard. This club has to stop at some point anyways. Great guys to watch on tour, Sung J.M., Cameron Young. They both take this club back so slow, pause. Matsuyama does it as well, and then they fire. Their timing is so good that it doesn't even look like they're trying. Watch the LPGA Tour. They all swing it better than all of us. Yeah. And their tempo is 10 times better.
Holy chunky chunk.
I just want you to feel that turn and feel that club set, and then let it go.
Okay.
There you go. Tempo Town.
Tempo Town, Canada.
Yes, sir. Good. you know, this is a drill of feeling that pause there. And that's where, you know, that's why Matsuyama did it, was his coach had him pausing, because apparently when Hideki was younger, he got a little quick in his transition. So he said, I just want you to sit there. And all of a sudden, he was just striping it after sitting there for half a second.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just going to do this on the golf course. It's the same reason why Matthew Wolf swings the way he does. That was just a drill by Genghis that was just like, oh, you know, take it outside. And he was just, well, I'm striping it, so why would I not, right?
Just continue to do that.
Yeah. This is for you to slow it down and not get quick in that transition. Once we get on the golf course, hopefully the work we've done here will slow it down on course.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was a good one. Was that like, did it look like I actually paused, or was it just fluid?
It looked like a little slight pause, nothing crazy, but it wasn't nearly as quick up there as it was earlier. Yeah. And that's, you know, we didn't see this problem when we had the 7-iron in our hand.
Yeah.
Because you're already like, oh, I hit this 175 and that's all I wanted to go, it's all I needed to go.
Yeah.
Once you get up into these longer irons, people want to hit them further and further and further. And all of a sudden, that's when I saw a change that I didn't have to do much with your 7-iron. That looked really good. This is where it's ugly, rearing.
7-iron is my comfort club. If I need to like hit a good shot, like that's like go grab it from the range.
Yeah.
Like hit shots, 7-irons. Like my go-to.
Yeah, and that's very common. That's most people's club that they grab. But yeah, you're just convinced, and most amateurs are convinced, that they have to swing 4-irons really, really hard to get them to go far.
Yeah. Just gotta keep the same tempo.
The shaft's longer, the loft's less.
Yeah.
It's gonna do the work for you.
Yeah.
So you just started trying to work it too much. It was like, man, as soon as I get here, I gotta put more power into it. And it's like, no, you really don't.
Just kind of,
you know, at the end of the day, yeah, if you time that up perfectly, you might be able to bust that 4-iron 210, 215, 220. Then your miss is awful. Like, live in that 210. I'm just trying to hit it.
It would be the couple, like I would get the chunks. And the thins.
Oh yeah.
A lot more with the 4-iron than with my 7. It's, you're on the tee box and let's say it's 190, but went to the face uphill. I'm like, okay, I'll go 4-iron. And it's like, I still come up short. Because I'm either chunking it or thinning the crap out of it. So it's really, when I'm thinking about these, any swing, just really slow it down.
Really good.
Oh.
There you go. Take it back nice and slow. Feel that shoulder turn. Left shoulder turning back, not lifting the club up with your arms. Just nice and slow, big shoulder turn. Very good.
Let's finish on a good note here.
Yeah, let's hit one nice and solid. Nice draw. There you go. That was the first one you really fired that lower body.
Once you told me that I wasn't really using my hips, I was like, oh, okay. I'll do one more.
That's what everyone says.
One more.
Yeah. Oh, one more till I hit one, and then they hit it good. There you go.
Oh, that was really good.
Really, really good. All right, my man. So overall, with that 7-iron, it was really, really solid. Once you pulled that 4-iron out, you got outside of your natural tempo. It was like you were trying to hit it really hard. And you started bringing it up vertical, which is an easier way to move it. Trying to move it fast is to rip at it all the way up. Just really feeling that that big long shoulder turn. Nice pause there, and then go. Your tempo started to come back down, and then at the end it wasn't as much, you weren't thinking about that pause. That tempo we had with the 7-iron started showing itself there. So that was the big ones for you. It's different for everybody. For the people at home who are going to watch this video, this could help you a lot. It is a very common problem that we see with amateurs, is they get really, really fast with the upper side of the bag because they think they have to. Generally, for everybody, we can take that club back as slow as we want. The club's got to stop at the top regardless. If you try this out and you have other problems, you can come and see me, because as I said with our wedge video earlier, I had some people that, wow, that helped a lot, and then other people are like, it's not working. Well, your problem was totally different. So
every swing everyone has their own swing. Different problems, different issues to fix. This will help me, but it could help other people, but you never know with everyone's swing out there. It's just like, they could be already steep enough.
They could be
too steep, and I can
exactly. Exactly. So that's always the waiver I like to send out to people with online videos. It's, you know, this helped Garrett, and if you swing it like Garrett, it's going to help you as well. But
it's not a one fix all for everyone here.
But that was awesome. Always like the time together, my man.
Thank you. We'll get an on-course video.
Yeah, on course soon.
That's where a lot of strokes, I feel like, could be saved. If you're hitting it consistently, then it's just like, how's your smart on the course? And how can you see different shots in certain ways?
Course management's a big one that we just people are thinking they're 2001 Tiger Woods and taking on flags that they have absolutely no business.
Yeah, tuck flag, there's water on the left side, and there's a bunker there.
I'm just going to throw a little fade in there.
I can fade this around. Even though I'm in the rough, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I got this shot in the bag.
Best way to reach out?
Yeah, best way to reach out to me is my Instagram and my email. My Instagram is coopbrown9, and then my email is cbrown@ptbogolf.com.
Yeah, and I'll put all the links down in the description, so it's just easier to click on that.
Perfect.
Go there. Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. To you too. Now to jump in the river.